even though parties can sign the SPA, but the actual transfer of the ownership can only be effected after the approval is obtained from the regulator.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to start today our first video in English, and it's pertaining to company issue. So the title today is How to Buy a Company. So we are very honored today to have Mr. Eric Ng with us today. Mr. Eric Ng, who is being a seasoned lawyer in corporate matters, has been practiced for more than 10 years, and I think he is the most suitable person to explain of how the workings of purchasing of a company in Malaysia. Mr. Eric, welcome you today.
Thank you for having me, Edward. Thank you for the kind introduction.
Yeah, that's not kind. I think that's absolutely on the point. Yeah, so our topic today is on how to purchase a company. So yeah, Mr. Eric, throughout the years, we have seen so many clients. So in the simple word, what do you mean by purchase a company? Purchase a shares, or you purchase any other thing?
Okay. When we talk about purchasing a company, it can be two forms. It's either you buy the shares of the company, or you buy the assets of the companies.
Okay. So normally what happens in Malaysia is that buying the assets or the shares.
Okay, so to buy a shares of a company or buy assets of the companies, normally the purchaser and the sellers will have to go through certain documentations process. Okay. So normally we will start off by signing the letter of offer.
Okay.
And then followed by the share purchase agreement.
Okay.
And then we close the share purchase agreement. But of course, in between, if there's a due diligence exercise required, we will also add that into the process.
I see. So you are saying that letter offer, share and purchase agreement for shares, and due diligence.
Yeah, if required.
I see. So you're saying, on the part of a letter offer, right? It's like I heard before, like a letter offer, their term sheet, like LOI. What all these are those things are the same thing, or
essentially it's just terminologies.
Okay.
So essentially, whether you call it letter of offer, letter of intent, is basically to capture the principles, commercial terms that has been agreed by the principals or the parties, so that we can use this letter offer to prepare or draft our share purchase agreement later on.
I see. So when it comes to letter offer, I know that letter offer is like when we purchase a house, there would be a letter of offer initiating the terms of the purchase. Is this kind of letter of offer different from those kind of letter offers in the share purchase or asset purchase?
Actually, it's quite similar.
Okay.
In the sense that, like for purchase of property in the booking form or letter offer, you will see that there is a purchase price there, payment terms, and the durations given for the parties to sign the SPA and also to complete the transaction. Similarly, for share purchase agreement or share purchase transactions or asset purchase transaction, inside the letter offer itself, it will also contain such provisions to facilitate the parties to finalize the SPA later on.
So what are those provisions like? Any an example of the provisions?
We will have definitely parties, the name of the parties. The number of shares involved or asset involved. The purchase price, payment terms, how long is the durations for the entire transactions, and also other maybe unique terms that only applicable to share purchase agreements, such as whether they want to have exclusivities in the letter offers, so that parties can use this exclusivity period to carry out the due diligence and to finalize the SPA later on, which is not common in property purchase agreement.
I see. So you mean that, so to me, our context is about private limited company in Malaysia, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is it exclusivity, meaning to say that you have certain period of time for you to only offer this deal of buying my share to you, to any other person?
Correct. So during this period,
Okay.
the buyer would normally utilize this period of time to carry out the due diligence on the companies to make sure that what they are buying is actually what was represented by the sellers.
I see. So there's a due diligence part.
Yeah.
Okay. So normally that would be like for a month or two, or
Well, it depends. It can be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It all depends on the arrangement between the parties.
I see. So there's a exclusivity. But I always heard there's one term, subject to contract. So does that mean, because eventually parties will come to an agreement, which is what you mentioned, sale and purchase agreement, there's a contract. But if the letter offer it mentions subject to contract, would that mean that the whole thing would only come into the place when the contract is signed? Or
Okay. In letter offer, normally we will have a clause to say whether this is binding or not binding on the parties.
Okay.
Right. Say if it's binding,
Okay.
that means that the parties will have to proceed with the share purchase agreement after the expirations of the exclusivity
regardless of what is the outcome of the
period.
due diligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But say if the letter offer stated clearly that this will be subject to the due diligence by the purchaser,
Okay.
that means that the purchaser can actually walk out from the letter offer if they are not satisfied with the due diligence outcome.
I see. But is this such of like walkout thing? Is this quite common in practice?
Oh yes, it's very common. It's very common because normally what was represented by the vendors may not be reflected in the documents provided by the companies.
So this is quite a common thing that's happening.
Yeah.
I see. So in just a case, let's say when I buy a house, you come back to because it's letter offer, I would pay your booking fee 2%, 3%. If I were to sign an agreement, that would be 10% of the deposit rate. So in such the letter of offer in share purchase, so many percent would you need to pay?
There is no standardized rate for share purchase. It's all up to the parties' agreement. Whether the vendor would like to request for an earnest deposit to be paid by the purchaser before signing of the letter offer, or otherwise, it very much depends on the arrangement between the parties. There is no standardized rate or standardized practice on this.
If I were the seller, I want to sell my shares, you're going to book me for, let's say, you see the exclusivity period, let's say book me for 2 months. I would certainly expect certain sum to be paid by you to me.
Yeah, that's what the vendors would normally require, but it also depends on the bargaining power of the parties. Sometimes the vendor may not have such bargaining power. Maybe they are desperate to sell due to certain considerations, or the purchaser has more bargaining power compared to the vendor. Then the dynamics could be different.
I see. So you say buying. I say I would need to buying. They would need to set a price for that buying line. Who is setting the price? Or do you need any valuer to come and do the valuation of the shares or that?
Okay, so this will be done by the purchaser themselves. It's done by the client themselves. It's not for the lawyer to decide on the valuations.
Okay. So meaning to say that can it be like that? So before even coming into a contract, just at the stage of letter offer, so would it be like no price is being set?
That would be highly not recommendable.
Okay.
Because this will not give certainties to the letter offer. And this will also discourage parties from proceeding with the share purchase agreement, because we want to avoid the issue of renegotiating on the price over and over again. So it's better that all parties can actually come up with a set of purchase price so that we can use that to prepare the SPA and also to prepare other terms and conditions of the agreements.
I see. So can the price be like approximate price? Say like I want to purchase your share, but there's approximate between 10 million to 20 million. Can it be that way?
That will need to be agreed upon by the parties. You can have a number in the letter offer, but subject to the adjustment of due to certain issues. You can have that in the letter offer.
I see. You see, I just want to go to a bit detail. You see, if we were to purchase like listed company, we have all the annual report. We know what the company's business is doing, assets, all we know. But for private company, we don't know anything about company. Only the owner know, right? So if I were to purchase this company, how would I value? How much should I pay for your shares? first it has to be subject to you are willing to sell to me, but how would I need to value how much I need to pay for the shares?
Okay, so normally the purchaser would either extract the annual report from the SSM, from the report that the companies file, or they will get the vendors or the companies to provide the management accounts for them to verify and for them to come up with the formulations on the purchase price.
So are you saying that, or can you conclusively say that these management accounts and also these audited accounts are 100% absolutely reflect the actual scenario of the company?
Well, that's where the due diligence come in.
I see.
That's where we have this process to verify whatever informations, representations, and documents provided by the vendors or the companies.
I see. Okay. So just like just want to go a bit on the, let's say you say purchasing a property, there would be like restrictions like sekatan or that. So is there any such a sekatan or restrictions in the letter offer?
It all depends on the company's constitutions and also the existing agreements among the shareholders. And also depends on the licenses or the industry that the companies operates in. Because some of the companies, when they are involved in, for example, payment business, they may need to either notify the regulators or get approval from the regulators before they can effect the change of the shares, ownership, and also the directors. It all depends.
Oh, do you mean that actually can we say that the if the regulator is not agreeable to this change of directors or shareholders, would that mean that purchase cannot go on?
Yes, exactly.
I see. So can I say that that's a condition precedent to the purchase?
Yes, that's why normally if we find that the target companies operates in those areas of business where they have license from certain regulators and the license condition itself or the act that regulating the business stated clearly that there should not be any change or control without the prior approval from the regulator, then the SPA or the share purchase agreement will become a conditional one. That means that even though parties can sign the SPA, but the actual transfer of the ownership can only be effected after the approval is obtained from the regulator.
I see. So meaning to say that if you want to bulldoze the deal, let's say you can do the transfer of the share also, would that mean that you may lose a license in the
Yes, you may lose the license or you may get penalized by the regulator as well. Or the regulator can simply just say this transfer is not valid, we don't accept it. Then you have issues with your license.
They will revoke your license.
Yes.
I see. So if this kind of like restriction thing, we need to inform the regulator. Is this thing being done at the stage of letter offer or upon the signing of the?
Normally, this is done after the signing of the share purchase agreement.
I see.
Whereby in the share purchase agreement, we will set this as the condition precedence.
I see.
So only all this condition precedent is fulfilled, only then we can proceed with the completion or closing of the share purchase agreement.
So they may also be coming in a way that you have done so many things, you have done your due diligence, legal diligence, whatever, account diligence, audit diligence, till an extent that you cannot, till this stage that you cannot get approval from the regulator. That means the whole thing all being done.
Yeah. Let's say if the regulators will not give the approval for the transfer, then the whole thing will collapse.
So all the effort vested.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but this is quite kind of common happening nowadays, right?
Not for me personally, but it does happen from time to time.
I see. Yep, but let's say at this letter offer stage, what have you seen like buyers or seller? What normally things that they normally do wrongly that can culminate in the later stage, culminate into litigation? They do not see eye and eye, or they may not agree, but then they didn't bring it out and then sign letter offer, stage pass, sign the SMP, and then purchase a share. Later on, culminate in a litigation.
Yep. Most of the time, that's why we just now earlier we mentioned that it is always advisable for parties to come to a certain agreement on the price itself. The price is always the most important thing. So once we have certainties on the pricing,
Okay.
then it will actually negate a lot of potential dispute or potential disagreements between the parties. But let's say if the price is not really clearly stated,
Okay.
then if after parties sign, that's where the dispute may arise.
Well, actually, just for the dollar and cents problem, right?
Sorry?
Dollar and cents problem.
Definitely.
Okay.
So it always comes down to the money trail.
I see. So it's a dollar and cents problem. You see, let's say if I were to sell you, okay, let's say you pay me a certain amount of money. I let you 2 months to do so-called exclusivity period that you mentioned to do out your due diligence, whatever you want to do. I may also prepare a data room, whatever and cater for you all the information required by you. Let's say after you've done everything, you say, I don't want to go on with the deal. But I also want to keep your money. I want to make the deposit that you pay to me non-refundable, because I may be thinking that you may be wasting my 2 months, for nothing. I may be looking for other buyers. So can I do it that way?
Yes, that's why it's very important to state it clearly in the letter offer whether whatever amount paid by the purchaser to the seller is refundable or non-refundable. You have to state it clearly there.
So in the market practice, would that be refundable?
Normally it's non-refundable.
Non-refundable, right? Yeah. Because you have taken so much time. Correct. I may be looking for other buyer at the same time.
Correct. Yep.
I see. But just to confirm with you one more thing. Let's say if I were to sell my company, can I offer to 2 potential buyers at the same time? Meaning to say that these 2 potential buyers are actually doing due diligence concurrently. Can it be that way too?
Well, that will depend on whether the buyer actually requests for any exclusivities from the vendor. Let's say if in the absence of these exclusivities, it will not prevent the seller to look for another potential buyer who potentially can pay at a higher price. So that's why exclusivity is really important.
I see. But so normally this exclusivity is normally being done, right?
Yeah, normally the purchaser would request that terms to be in.
I see. Okay. So I think that concludes our part of the letter of offer. And the second part that we're going to go in is the due diligence, which has been mentioned by Mr. Eric.